Just a few days ago, had a little article I was talking about. You know, Spain. Matter of fact, let me find the exact title because it goes hand in hand with this one. Stand by. Okay, the video I was talking about this just it looks like on February 21st, so just a few days ago. Realist news: the unthinkable just happened in Spain. Central bankers in trouble? Question mark. Yeah. Actually, they are. Who would have ever thought? Some judge, because at the end of that article I read you, the very last piece was another judge put people in trouble, and now he is barred from being a judge for 17 years or some crap because he did the right thing and went after some of these people. And not these ones in particular, but in another case, a different judge. They taught him a lesson. Now you can't be a judge. You don't take the club and put him in jail or get in trouble. In this case, he's now barred. This is another one, though, and that's from the 21st, the video I was talking about. This is a new set of things. And former IMF person, former Bank for International Settlements person, all of the club's little minion guys at the top, though. Wolfstreet.com, Mr. Don Cojones. He's got cojones. Former IMF chief, this is the case I was telling you about. What was the judge going to do, right? Former IMF chief and dozens, a dozen is 12, 2 dozen is 24. How many people are we talking about? Is this good news or not? Former IMF chief and dozens of former bank execs just got sentenced to jail? No, this is the onion. This is fake. This can't be real. This doesn't happen. But it might have. It might have just happened in Spain. Maybe some people over there had said, finally, damn it, we've just had enough. The corruption must end now. Maybe they saw what Trump was doing and said, you know what? If a guy like that can get elected and turn America around, maybe that's a sign for us. You know what? Let's do the right thing. Maybe that's what's happening all of a sudden. Who knows? The unimaginable just happened in Spain. 2 former bank CEOs, Miguel Blesa, CEO of Caja Madrid, and Rodrigo Rato, CEO of Bankia, were just awarded prison sentences of 6 years and 4.5 years, respectively, for misappropriation of company funds. Mr. Rato, I gotta, what do they call that? Flip your tongue or whatever. I gotta give the Spanish, name the proper authority. Anyways, Mr. Rato was also managing director of the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, from 04 to 07. He was succeeded by another luminary. You might have heard of this guy, Dominique Strauss-Kahn, and the fake alleged, he attacked the woman in the bedroom of the hotel room, and he was on his way to get on a plane, and the federal New York judge grabbed him, put him in, indefinitely, no bail. And then he said, all right, I'll resign from that position. Okay, we'll let you go now. And they let him go. And I was reading the news articles at that time, who's going to replace Dominique Strauss-Kahn as the head of the IMF. And I saw 3 candidates. One was an Israeli. The other one was Christine Lagarde, who we know now is it. And there was a third one I can't remember. And only one of them, and I made a video on this, and I said this, I remember it. I said, only Christine Lagarde is the one talking about some of these countries like Greece at the time and telling them what they need to do is start privatizing these countries' assets to pay back out some loans that they need. Nobody else said that. The guy from Israel didn't say it. The other guy didn't say it, but she did. I saw that article. I read it, and I said, this is your next IMF head. It's her. Trust me. And guess what? It happened. Of course, I could have been wrong, but based off of the other 2, I saw what I saw with her. Oh, she's exactly what they're looking for. And she has been vocal even more recently, saying Greece needs potentially a 4th bailout, and we need to privatize some more stuff. She said it just days ago, as a matter of fact. So anyways, these are the people at the top of world banking. And they get sentenced to prison? Oh, what do you guys suggest we do to fix the economy? You guys are the experts. Let's ask a bank robber what we should do to fix bank balance sheet issues. Liquidity. Mr. Bank Robber, you're the expert. No, actually, I just rob banks. So I don't know anything about that. But these guys do. They'll pretend they know. Just like I said the other day, the reason these guys went into this whole situation, while they got pulled into court, is because they have conversations logged now that they were trying to take some failed banks, put them into a larger failed bank, and they were saying this isn't going to work. This is not going to work. It's going to be a failure. This is going to be a massive taxpayer bailout. We can't do this. We can't do this. Let's do it anyways. They did it anyways, and it happened exactly like they said. Massive taxpayer bailout. So now this is where we are. Are they going to jail or not? Apparently they are. So now the question on everybody's mind is, will Blesa and Reto actually serve the sentence? And he says more on that later. So that is it. Yeah, they've got the sentences are, is it actually going to happen? Let's see. Dozens more former Caja Madrid senior executives, most of whom are closely connected to either or both of the country's two main political parties, by the way, and or main unions, also face 3 to 6 years in prison. They were found guilty by Spain's National High Court of misusing company credit cards. Those cards drained money directly from the scarce funds of Caja Madrid, which at the height of Spain's banking crisis was merged with 6 other failed savings banks into Bankia. And that's what I was just telling you, which shortly thereafter collapsed and ended up receiving the biggest bailout in Spanish history, costing taxpayers over 20 billion euros to date. Between 2003 and 2012, Caja Madrid and its later incarnation, Bankia, paid out over 15 million euros to its senior management team and executive directors through its Tarjeta Negra or Black Card scheme. According to accounts released by Spain's Bad Bank, FROB or FROB, much of that money went on restaurants, cash withdrawals, travel, holidays, that old chestnut. The amounts, which did not show up on any bank documents, job contracts, or tax returns, may be small, given the magnitude of the misdeeds that led to the Spanish bank fiasco, but it's the principle that counts. So I have to ask myself, speaking of how I always do, cooking the books at all these financial institutions, they were able to pull, was that $15 million? And it's still not even, did not show up on any bank documents, job contracts, or tax returns. Just free money. Just use the money. Only 4 out of 90 Caja Madrid senior managers, executives, and board members had the basic decency to turn down the offer of undeclared expenses. 4 out of 90. 86 said, to hell with this, we're taking the money and running. Illegal or not, we're doing it. 4 out of 90 said, that's not right. I might come back to bite us. We don't like that idea. Okay, losers. Oh, wait, who's going to jail? Okay. For the rest, it was an offer they could not refuse. In his last few months at Caja Madrid, just before the whole edifice came crumbling down, Blesa went on a mad spending binge. He saw the writing on the wall. This is collapsing, so rather than save the taxpayers from a little less money they have to spend to bail this out, I'm going to go rack up this card. I'm going to go on a spending binge. And made purchases worth 19,000 euros, more than many Spaniards' annual salary, by the way, it says. This is a man who pocketed over 20 million euros in salaries, in bonuses, while at the helm of the bank that he helped destroy. He pocketed $20 million in salary, euros, whatever, $1 million, and had the nerve to spend the last 19,000 while the bank's crumbling, and I know there's going to be a taxpayer bailout. I'm going to spend anyways, and this isn't even out of my $20 million salary. This is on the bank's black book thing. This should absolutely infuriate people in Spain to want to murder these people. $20 billion bailout was needed, the largest in Spain's entire history as a country. And this son of a gun can't spend his $20 million he made over 10-year, whatever period it was. What was it? How many 20-year, 10-year, whatever it was. Millions of dollars salary. No, I'm not spending my money. Pfft. What are you, smoking crack? I'm not spending my money. For Blesa. Oh, hold on, wait. Missed one. This is a man who pocketed over $20 million in salaries and bonuses while at the helm of the bank he helped destroy. On his departure in 2010, he was awarded a $2.5 million golden parachute. And for those of you that really don't know what that means by chance, it's like a bonus. You're leaving, here's a bonus on your way out. It's written in your contract. You get a little nest egg at the end. Not a literal golden parachute. Yet, even after his ouster, he, like many other Caja Madrid executives, continued making liberal use of his black card, the one you can spend without anyone knowing. Yeah. For Blesa, this will not be his first time behind bars, actually, assuming he is actually sent to prison, he says. He was jailed twice in 2013, and both times was promptly sprung from his jail cell by Spain's prosecution service. Get out of jail free card, huh? In fact, the only person upon whom justice was served in the initial case against Blesa was the presiding judge, Mr. Silva, who, as I mentioned earlier, was barred from the bench for 17 years for overstepping his limits. Blesa's successor as CEO of Caja Madrid / now Bankia, Mr. Rodrigo Reto, could see his sentence grow in the coming months. He also faces charges of fraud, embezzlement, and money laundering. Allegedly, he even laundered funds while serving as IMF managing director. While Rato sounds better to me, like a rat jumping ship. We're going to pronounce that as Rato. While Rato is not solely responsible for the myriad of disasters that occurred on his watch, he does seem to have an incredible knack at being in the wrong place at the wrong time and making lots of money in the process. He was Spain's economy minister during the nascent years of Spain's property bubble. Surprise, surprise. IMF chief during the run-up to the subprime crisis years. Quick look surprised. And Bankia CEO just before it collapsed, and the subsequent heist of the life savings of hundreds of thousands of its own retail customers who were persuaded by branch sales staff to invest their funds in the bank's high-risk subordinate bonds. Quick look surprised. Now he faces the prospect of hard time behind bars, but will the sentence be served? That is the question people are asking in Spain. Just last week, Inaki Urdangurin, the husband of the king's sister, Infanta Cristina, was sentenced to 6 years in prison for fraudulently obtaining and spending millions of euros in public funds in the case known as the news case. Today, he was told that he can go back to his home in Switzerland where he can stay until all the possible appeals are exhausted, which, this being Spain, could take years. He did not even have to post bail, by the way. Go home, go to your other country, live a good life. We'll call you when we're ready, which will be so many years from now. You'll probably be dead. Don't sweat it. Will Mr. Rato, Blesa, and the rest of the Bankia 65 also be able to prepare their appeals from the comfort of their own home? Many of them are so intimately connected to the political and business establishment that it's almost impossible to imagine them warming a bench in a jail cell. If they are given similar treatment, expect public anger to reach new heights. If by some miracle they are sent down, things could be about to get very interesting in the Eurozone's fourth largest economy, especially with 6 senior central bankers waiting in the wings to testify about the Bank of Spain's role in the collapse of and subsequent bailout of Bankia. 6 central bankers and financial regulators get dragged to court. Read, the unthinkable just happened in Spain, which is what I read you the other day. Wow. I'm not holding my breath that they're going to go to jail. Can't do that because there's already a history of them not going to jail or being told you're going to, but since you have so many appeals lined up, just go home. We're not even going to hold you. No bail, no nothing. Go home in another country, Switzerland, which when we come to get you then, we won't have diplomatic, lawful ability to come get you because you're in another country. We'll try to extradite you, but we're not even going to try really. We'll just say it so the news picks it up as if we're going to, but we're not really going to. You'll stay there. Everything will be fine. By that time, people will have forgotten about this case anyways. But there's 65 other people, minions under the minions, sub-minions. And guys, that's a lot of people to just let off the hook. So the guys in the lowest part of that ladder, corporate ladder, you're going to take one for the team. Did you enjoy that black credit card you got to use off the books? Good. You're going to take one for the team. You'll be out in half the time. You're going to get the lowest sentence, a couple years. You'll be out in the air. Okay, fair enough? Good. Have a nice day, everybody. That's probably how this is going to go. In the people of Spain, the people of pain, yeah, that's correct, suffer because of people like this and their horrible laws that they pass. Again, this guy was the finance minister, economy minister, finance minister. This guy's the head of the IMF at one point. This one's the head of working in a position to BIS, Bank for International Settlement. These are the top places of the world financially. This is a criminal organization that is running things. And they want us to listen to them. You guys are the smartest guys in the room. Let's listen to them. And you say we need to bail out because we screwed over so many people. We need you taxpayers to bail everything out. We don't have to pay back any of the $20 million salary I got, the $2.5 million golden parachute I got, nor the black credit card thing I was spending on. None of it. Boy, it sure does pay to be at the top, doesn't it? Unfreaking believable. Take care.